All right, let's test out your dispatch skills. I'm gonna give you two scenarios that actually happen on a regular, okay? I wanna get your mind going so you can understand profitability. So in this scenario, we have a truck right now in Chicago, Illinois, and you are on the load boards. When you're on the load boards, you have two loads that pop up at the same time. You have option number one, which is load number one, and I'll give you the story and background and the money in a second, and then I'll do the exact same thing with story number two or load number two. Okay, so option number one is you have a load going from Chicago, which is where your truck is, and it's going to Dallas, Texas. Okay, you have 1,000-mile load. Okay, so Chicago to Dallas, approximately 1,000 miles, and the load is paying $2,900. Okay, now you also have a backhaul from there, from Dallas going to Chicago, and it pays $1,500. So your total miles is 2,050 miles because you have 50 miles deadhead, and your gross earnings is $4,400, okay? That's option number one, Chicago to Dallas round trip, $4,400. Option number two, you have a load going from Chicago to Detroit, round trip. They're giving you round trip. They are paying $2.40 per mile, which is $720. There's 20 deadhead miles. The return run is paying you $660. So total miles, you have 620 total miles, and your revenue is $1,380. Now, this round trip you could do multiple times throughout the week, meaning both the shipper and the receiver both have multiple loads, so you can go from point A to point B, come back to point A, and then do the run again multiple times. That's your option number two. So you have option number one, round trip to Dallas, Texas. Option number two, round trips to Detroit, Michigan. Now let's count the fuel for both option number one and option number two, and then I'll pause, I'll give you the chance to think about it and answer the question. So, fuel costs. For the round trip to Dallas, your fuel cost is gonna cost you $1,260, okay? How did we get to that? So, you have a total of 2,050 miles. You divide that by 6.5 miles per gallon. You're gonna need 315 gallons, and we multiply that by 4, which is realistic. It's $4 per gallon. So the total price is $1,261 for fuel. Option number two, the round trip to Chicago, Chicago to Detroit, back to Chicago. You have 620 miles. You're doing 620, divide that by 6.5. You have 95 gallons, multiply that by $4 per gallon. You're paying $380, okay, for every round trip. So the question to you is, which trip is more profitable to you? Think inside your mind about a week's time, because for you to do the Chicago to Dallas, back to Chicago, it's probably gonna take you about 5 working days, maybe 4 working days. And then you have to think of how many times you could do that round trip, and that's gonna give you your answer. All right, you ready for the answer? So the answer is you have option number A, the round trip to Dallas, Texas and back. After fuel, all right, you're probably netting about $1.53 per mile. And then in option number two, the Detroit, Michigan path, you're probably netting about $1.61 per mile. Now, the key words were that you could do it multiple times. So because you could do the trip multiple times, option B is more profitable for you, okay? So even with the fuel expense, Detroit still comes out ahead in profit per mile. And because you can repeat it, therefore, option B is more lucrative and more profitable for you than doing the round trips to Dallas.